All right, class, this is section 2 of the doves, and those of you who are doing both doves, you may have a section 3. I am going to start with, I burnished in the white part here. I burnished the brown part here with the white, and as you can see, it's a very warm brown tone, and it's not really sienna. It's almost like a chocolate brown. But I don't have that here. So I'm going to lightly put in a little bit of this dark, and then I'm going to blend it out with the sienna. So it doesn't look so like grayed out. So I'm putting on another layer, little hairs, jig-jaggy, make some of them go up, some of them come down, just, you don't want them to all look the same. And then you're just going to kind of, oh goodness, hiccup. You're just going to kind of blend that out. So in some of these other areas, you may just want to add a little sienna on top of that black or umber, dark umber color. And just put in these little soft, just warming it back up a little bit. Because it's looking kind of purple. I don't know why adding the white would turn that umber to a purplish tone, but it really kind of did. Okay, I'm going to stop fiddling with that after I told y'all we were going to keep going. We're going to work on the branch that he's sitting on. And there's actually, honestly, I can't tell if that's another foot forward, if that's just a chunk out of the bark. So we're just going to make it the dark bark. So I have my dark umber, and we're going to be using some of the colors that we used in the wing to do this branch. So we're going to come up underneath these little hairs that we have created with our See, I'm thinking there's another foot right there, but you can't see it, so we're not going to draw it. And this goes right on over to the other bird. Okay, now that I've got the jig-jag part, I'm just going to come over and I'm going to create some jagged edges for the wood, and there actually is a little bit of snow right there, so that may be snow on the head like we were thinking earlier, but we're just going to come in and put in our dark shadows from the bird and I'm going to fill in some areas that are definitely darker on this tree branch. That's really dark. Could just be a shadow of the foot. And we're putting in some of the yellow tones with our bronze color, as it has just this little touch of green to it, almost like a army type color. And we're going to blend that in. And this area here is a little bit, this area right here is a little bit lighter, more yellow and white. So I'm going to skip over that area. And I'm going to come back into this area with some of that yellow tones. Go into the bottom of the tree branch. And that gold tone tends to come right over to this bird. We can always make these darks darker if we put a lighter color on there and you can't see it as well. And I'm going to go back to the beige color. And blend that up into the bronze color. It's fleshy. I need more of a yellow. Pinks, greens. There we go. Color is that? Sand. Jasmine, that's a little green. Canary, that's very lemon. We don't want that. I think we might go with cream. Since it is a grayed color, I'm going to add that little bit of blue. Yeah, we do that in order to gray down a color. And we're going to put that cream in there. And I'm pushing kind of hard, but not like, you know, super, super hard. Going back to my dark umber. And I'm going to put in these little notch areas, skipping over some of the yellow, right? So I'm going to go ahead and put that yellow up here as well. Over this whole area, actually. I'm just kind of following the pattern. Most of this is going to get filled in black. Or this is actually dark umber. You could use black. It would still look amazing. And I might actually come back with some black. I don't know what these little bumps are on here, but they're there. So we're putting them in. Losing my glasses. I'm just darkening up some of that area at the top that's got the snow on it, but since we're not doing the snow. There's a little bit of black underneath here. Little piece of that wood on the other side. And it's jig-jaggy. And then there's some streaks in this back half. And I don't want to go through the foot, so I'm going to start from the foot and go back this way. Start on the other side It jig-jags and then streaks away. It comes up underneath this other bird a little bit to try to get our just so we don't have a line there. I'm breaking up the line to this little part where part of the branch has been ripped off, broken. So I'll go back to the bronzy color and put some of that in a little thicker. Some of these stripes, these little dots. Okay, so we have a little bit of our broken off piece of branch, and you can just follow the pattern that you see. This is not very sharp anymore, so if I'm going to continue using it, I need to top it off. Okay, so now we have the branch in for our bird. There might be a little bit of green that you want to add into there. The bronze kind of has a little bit of a green to it, but that's up to you. Look at your picture, see what you want to do, and then you know, do it. All right. I say we're finished, and then I go back and do more. Okay. Where my white is, I'm going to put some white in the top of that little piece. There we go. I had to push kind of hard because I built up a lot of layers there. Okay, so we're going to continue on with the bottom half of the bird. And we're going to go back to our peach and yellow color, definitely some of the blue, and our black parts that are the ends of the wings for this particular part. So I'm going to come over here to this outer edge, put in some blue, and then I'm going to fill in this area with the blue as well. Now you don't really want to go where the black is going to go, if you can help it, because blue, this baby blue, what is this? Sorry, cloud blue. Cloud blue has white in it because that's what makes it so light. So we want to, you don't want to have white underneath something where you're going to have, or you're going to have black, because then you always end up with gray. So we're going to put that in. Down here at the bottom, there is some gray, kind of a beigey color. Where's that original? Oh, it's the Color Splendor. Here we go. This is the 20% French gray, and it is a little bit warmer. So we're going to come up into this part of the tail. It's the tail of the bird. And in this area, a little bit right in this corner, just a little. All right, now I'm just going to fling away from those lines that I did so it blends into that blue really well. But you'll notice how much, how dark this is. So I could actually burnish with white instead of the Colorless Splendor if I wanted to, right? So we're going to go into this part of the bird, which is continuation of the colors up here. And before I go down, I need to lighten that line. I kind of pressed hard when I drew that off, sorry. I don't know if that's going to go away or not. But you'll notice that this line kind of has a little wiggle to it, you know, so if you want to kind of come in and go out every once in a while, and that's going to get white put on top of it. And this is super fluffy, soft down feathers. And there is some into this gray area, both sides. Okay, so now we have our peachy color. We want the yellowish color. Oh, that was the yellowish color. So let's go to our orangier color. Both sides. And then we're going to burnish with the white. Or we're not going to burnish so hard that, you know, we're just going to do a layer of white, literally. It's really not even a burnishing, truly burnishing. I'm just doing a layer of the white, blending that color into the blue. And yeah, that comes all the way down to there. And then we're going to blend the white into this outer part. Oh my goodness. I don't know what is with this white. So that we can finish out his tail and pick some of that white a little farther down. And we're going to put the black in, which is this little section here, this tiny little section, and this section. And that's going to be our final part for the tail. This is definitely whiter. Don't know if I can get it any whiter without lifting a little bit of it off with like an X-Acto or something. I'm pushing pretty hard. That's why it's all coming apart. And then I'm going to use the colorless blender for this area back here to kind of make that super soft looking. Oval, oval, oval. Or circle, 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 since it's so small. And we're going to do both sides. We're going to add a little bit of the gray, which is this one, into these little feathers, little tiny strokes. And then there is a little tiny bit of black at the very top corner right here. And we're going to burnish that. And be done with one of our I know. I could sit here and pick at this all day. And do little bitty things all over. So I think I'm just going to leave y'all to do the other guy. And you're not going to be using near as much of the orange or the, the sienna and stuff like that in this particular guy as you would the one down that's lower down the branch. So I hope y'all had fun doing him. I thought it was kind of cool. And I have had some really cool bird pictures of doves coming out into my backyard and just, amazing. Sitting there just cooing and cooing away. Okay, the background. I am going to leave that up to you guys of what you would like to do for the background. Now this almost looks airbrushed. It's so soft. If you have some pan pastels, or if you have some pastel, not oil pastels, but soft pastels, you can actually take a brush and put a little bit on the brush and brush away and get these little soft streaks into, like if you do a blue background, you can get these little soft kind of taupe color streaks going into your background. But if you don't have that, then we can do I'm not going to make you do the entire background by burnishing and stuff like that, but you can always do just a little bit of well, this is that same cloud blue. I probably choose a little grayer blue than that. So let's see what we got here. No, it's bright blue. Looking for like a cadet blue, or this is a slate gray. It's not too bad. Just because I want to do a little something in the background, and just to kind of set off the bird itself. And my brush is shedding. It is like literally coming apart. I'm sorry. That's just craziness going on in the studio here. And you can do like a soft bokeh background. And that means you're going to do things that are just a little, like, well, I mean, not just a little bit. It is very out of focus. And you're just going to softly put in these colors. Soft, soft, soft. Barely using the side of the... This is not even a good sharpening. This is a factory sharpening. So it just kind of looks like there's a little something going on in the background, right? And you can come from farther out and bring some in to match what you have. And it just kind of looks like something is going on in the background here. And this little line, I kind of like that. It's in the actual picture. And you can do just this soft kind of background. So you don't have to go crazy with burnishing the whole background. Well, unless you want to. That's going to use a lot of your colored pencils, but it looks amazing. If you have any pan pastels, soft pastels, use a brush and scatter this on. I hope you can see the softness in the background, and you can actually come in with a second color. So this is that same blue we were using in the bird, so it kind of ties in. And put a little something in there so it's not just the white of the paper. However you wish to do your background. I can't wait to see what y'all are doing. I'm not getting enough of you guys sending me your artwork. I can't wait to see how your cupcakes and all have turned out. And I do know one person is still working on theirs because they didn't get the reference photo. That was because I had the wrong email address. So, or I typed in the wrong email address. And one person said they didn't get it and it was in their spam folder. So, you'll be looking for those as you get further and further into classes. There's always going to be a reference photo, something that we're working from, as well as the project that we're working on, as well as when it gets released and any supplies or whatever you might need or might want to have. The back side of this head, there's another one over here, kind of going in the same direction as that one. And this is just a really soft kind of a finish off to a picture instead of just a floating dove. So anyway, I'm not going to let you just sit there and watch me do this crazy background again and again, but this is our dove project. I do think I need to add a little bit of color to that white. So I'm going to put a little bit of blue in there and a little blue on the top back here, right there. And I'm going to put a little bit of blue in that eye just because it's a dull gray day. It doesn't need to be a bang white spot. And if you don't want to leave the white spot at all, just fill it in black. That's brown. And or you can just make it smaller, just teensy, right? So this is step 2, finishing out the bird's tail, doing the branch, filling out your background, and you will have completed phase 2 or part 2 of our doves. And those of you who have not your first year in colored pencil, I expect you to do both doves. All right, guys. Y'all have a great day.